Okay, so your combo's immediately committed to the right, which is good and okay. One thing to bear in mind is don't stand behind Tetris for a prolonged period of time because you'll just all eat the same spam. It's called the death corner. Um, the main issue here is you have both soldiers literally waddling on the floor choke. That's partly by nature of they had unhealthy and slow rollouts, but also they didn't do anything when they got on mid. Generally speaking, and perhaps I can hop on an offline server to show you, your Roman soldier does the rollout where you either ramp surf off choke or ramp surf off valley and then land on bell tower. And then your pocket soldier takes 300 and then jumps on top of calf if you're playing right side. Or if you're
Okay.
playing valley, you'll jump their calf after getting healed by the combo, or you'll jump the bell tower. Your soldiers at the start of the mid, you guys are committing right side with the beam, and you have your soldiers unhealthy just waddling on the floor left, and like you sort of automatically lost mid straight away. Should be in leave mode now. Some nearly. But yeah. Play to salvage is good because you're going to be a last hold anyway. What I would say is don't feed any more players at that point because otherwise you're not going to have the spawners in time to defend last against teams which move quicker than these will. See, like this late death now would usually result in them pushing last in a 6v5 with full ad, which is like you're never going to win that round. Yeah, we shouldn't really. So on full, these are obviously a newer team as well, so you're going to get away with it. But as soon as that mid fight is a wipe for you guys, and they have their medic lives, it's like you're immediately just setting up your last hold. You're not entertaining being in lobby because it doesn't really do anything. In case you don't know, the two main last holds for this map, there's two ones depending on, at least in NA and EU, there's two types of ones. You can either play Pyro Engineer or you can play Sniper Engineer. Pyro Engineer looks like you have a sentry gun right here where my camera is, and then you have dispenser on the barrel, and then you play Pyro Soldier Engineer top left, and then you play a soldier and a demo man holding this right side, and then your medic can play with these players here and then give heals to these guys as well. That's the one if you don't like sniping, and this tends to be the stronger hold in higher levels in EU. If one of you particularly likes sniping, the other hold is instead of the gun up here, you put your gun at the front of point here, so it covers top left and dungeon. Then you have Demo Man top left instead of on the right side. You have your medic here inside a dispenser, and you play double soldier right side, and then your sniper can snipe wherever he wants to snipe, which will usually
Okay.
be right side or lower. So those are the two last holds. And what you should do against lower level teams is just immediately get set up with a strong last defense, because this shouldn't be allowed, right? Like this guy's trolling by doing this, running straight into your last. But if you guys actually had a setup, you'd be able to easily kill him. I
All
love
right.
openness. It's so open.
Eh.
Kill the scout, guys. Kill the scout, guys. Kill the scout.
Ah.
No.
But yeah, he got away.
Guys. Yeah, but imagine this guy tries to come top left and he walks into a tier 3 sentry gun and a soldier, right? Just to, paint the picture.
He runs in again.
Yeah, we were never really set up with a last hold, right? So now we end up getting forced. Something to consider. Something to consider. It's not hard either, right? Everyone just learns what they do on the last, and then you guys set up straight away, and it'll be like max security prison, like no one's getting in or out.
Right.
Like I can't over exaggerate enough how like little effort newer teams put into holding last, whereas if you guys actually learn how to hold last, no one will cap points versus you.
All right. So we just learned the last holds a bit. Well, we just naturalized them. I guess that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it should be automatic. Like if your main caller calls, yeah, this is a last hold, then everyone should just know what they're doing and everything should be done immediately. And this sort of stuff where we have a scout just running in behind them, which
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
Can you go
Yeah.
over like the Pyro NG last hold again? Like I
Yeah,
know that
if
yeah.
once I'm done with the review, I can hop on an offline server and show you
All right.
where.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So this is now just a full ad push for them because we were forced because we didn't have a setup. really going to learn much from this. Back and forth, we lose round. Okay.
All-Star cannot jump.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll show the since he's here today, I'll hop on and show how you do the pocket rollout as well. Yes, Damascus, that's better. Get up on the bell at the start of mid. Should be healthier though. At this point, now that mid's been going on for quite a while, you guys need to decide what you're doing, because the longer you just stand and choke, it's just going to get worse for you. You can recognize there's two options. There's two soldiers that are low and both away from their teams. So if you just call on one of the soldiers and commit to it, you guys will be able to take all the space that they lose. So imagine a different scenario now where this is the exact same, except all stars already on mid 300 HP and jumps on top of this roof, right? The soldier just dies, and then you guys have all this space on this side of mid, and then you can collapse into them, and it's like perfect. So like I can't overstate enough like how important it is for everyone to actually get their rollouts done. You can still go first anyway. You should get but this needs to be called. At the moment, you guys are very disconnected, right? Your flank scout's taking a 1v1 against a soldier, which shit soldiers shouldn't. Good soldiers shouldn't lose that really. In Tetris corner. And if we're going to be taking this space here, we're going to see our demo man's holding W. We need a scout. So like, this is very disconnected, right? The demo man walking around Tetris here needs to be supported by the combo. So that needs to look more like your medic's beaming him from either in front of or on cafe stairs. And then the scout is on this blue Tetris. Because at the moment, your demo man's walking into two people. They're out. Like, if you guys are here, just attack, like crunching on these players with your demo man, you immediately win the mid. So you guys need focus calls and what side you rotate in. That's the important thing. Like process Sunshine to rotate mid, so just call the direction that your team's moving. Because if you three players here, which are doing like realistically, you're not doing anything right. This isn't contributing anything to the mid. If you walk with your demo man, these two players die, and you guys the mid's immediately won. But instead, you're probably going to lose your demo man here, and then it turns into like a fair fight, where it shouldn't have been a fair fight. You guys should have just won. Yeah, it just seems to be a bit of a disconnect on what the right thing to do is. You guys do this coordinated play on choke. There's no need. Those players are leaving. You should just kill the players that are in as a team. And it ends up being sort of like an even fight when you guys actually could have rolled that mid. Okay, even out on mids. Okay, now you start looking at facts in second. You guys should know that it's time to sack in a second. One option you could try and do is try and walk with the player pick, but it's not bad to just settle into evens here and play sacks. So let's see what sort of things you guys go for.
Happy fight jokes.
Okay, so they're pushing into you. They shouldn't have been able to get this far without you guys seeing them first, right? So that's the responsibility of... This is really bad. You need something watching Valley, guys. So your flank scout in CAF doesn't make sense unless you're making a play. Because that's not your job as flank scout. You're meant to be watching Valley. So you're meant to be playing on top of here. You'd only rotate the calf if you guys have something in mind to swap the combo and flank. Like if your combo wants to pressure Valley, then you'd go watch calf and have a soldier on choke. But generally speaking, this is your position to spot. Oh, and if so it should be your pocket soldier, calf, your scout spots Valley, and then the Roman soldier will be preparing for some sort of sack. What ended up happening is you guys had nothing on Valley. Which obviously isn't good. If you want to as well, I see some teams put their combo scout here if the flank scout's going to be doing something. Point of the matter being, you need to be watching Valley. You need to be watching all the doors in stalemates, right?
Yeah.
It reduces randomness. Like TF2 should be you're in a comfortable position where you have everything covered. There's a fight, you transition, and you quickly get into the next like preset positions. The less time you spend like meandering about, the less random stuff like this happens, and you're in more control of the game. actually works out okay because we just get to walk in for free because they wrap Valley.
I'm the enemy demo here on red, so
Oh, okay. Guys need to be aware of the situation, right? You took so long to clean up that scout. 5v4. This is looking like an immediate leave. But we're meeting them choke. You should be doing is just playing slow and then refighting with your spawners. Because if you hadn't lost fed that player, you guys would have had a 6v4 on the mid. But you can still push this to the 5v4 if you are quick. Same sort of thing. You guys are sort of all pushing through the same door, aren't aware of the fact someone can walk calf. A better soldier kills your medic there. Yes, is you need a player watching calf. Sunshine's difficult because you have to manage two flanks.
question.
Yeah.
Sorry, my
Yeah,
voice
it
is
would.
dying today. Like back when Red was holding second, I was watching Cav, like you mentioned in the previous demo review, but our medic and Pocket Scout just kind of solo Uber through Valley, and I was way too far away to be included in the Uber, and the Uber just kind of sucked. They didn't coordinate this beforehand, and so when I'm alone on Cav, watching Cav, I'm just kind of separate from the team. There should be a medic with me, but sometimes there isn't.
So, are you on about when you're holding second?
Hi, Pav.
Are you on about when you're holding second, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So, you as demo man are generally here putting spam, and yeah, Doc, I'll talk about the way that should have been pushed in a second. Generally, he meant to be stood here applying pressure on calf. But against good teams, your medic doesn't want to stand here when they're preparing to sack because their demo man is just going to sticky snipe him for poke.
Okay.
So what will happen is when you're anticipating they're going to sack, your medic will move to more like here where it's harder for him to get sniped by stickies. But obviously that does mean that you are then more vulnerable at calf, right? Realistically, you shouldn't be able to get popped on and die if you're standing correctly. Like if you're stood here, you can see if they cross into calf, and you should have sticks. So if you see, even if you see an Uber scout in that doorway right now, you only have to walk to here to be with your medic. So perhaps when you say you're playing calf, you're perhaps over positioning it a bit, and you meant to be spam and then be more
Yeah.
positioned a bit.
Okay, so I thought my medic was at concrete, but when I turn around, I see his ass over at Valley. I don't know what's up with
If
him.
if your
He's also
combo
in
moves
his
to
cone
Valley
right
and that
now. What
isn't
the hell,
communicate,
Pav?
if the combo moves to Valley and that's uncalled, then yeah, that's not particularly your fault. Unless it is, because perhaps you should have moved to Valley. You're part of the combo. Uh, Obviously, back to what you were saying a second ago. If I just go back to any on the demo. See where we got to. Okay, so we leave. Obviously, we know it's big ad. So it's big ad, but it doesn't mean you have to use it right now. What ended up happening is you had your spawners and you all funneled through choke. You didn't actually watch for calf or valley wraps. You have a full Ubrad. You have time to get players healthy, put your flank on the extremities, and then coordinate a push into mid. It seems very rushed or panicked or not quick when it needs to be quick, and then panicked when you guys need to coordinate stuff. And at a lower level, what I would say is if you're unsure what the game state is, to just stabilize something as a team. Because instead of everyone getting lost for like 2 whole minutes. Because this looking at your guys' movement, it's very obvious no one actually knows what's going on at this point. So what you should be doing now is just getting comfortable in a second hold. This ad hold, because you know you're forced. But instead, we're sort of like it's the same sort of thing I was saying, where if these guys decide to push now, you guys are in such bad positions because you're not actually just set up to defend second. Whereas if you're set up properly with your combo players on concrete, your demo holding calf, these two players won't be able to walk through here for free.
Ashu isn't actually here to hear this. Ashu is
Yes.
Singapore fishing.
I'll just pass the information to him. It's fine.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
sorry, someone confused me by the red demo man, blue demo man, but yeah, it's okay.
But
We have two
what else?
demos.
It's not
Stop.
a demo man issue. It applies to the whole team, right? Like you guys are
Yeah,
all
yeah.
working, yeah. So I mean, again, like you guys had everyone alive. You could have just set up for a second defense where your medic can leave and you can play for a force, but instead everyone's almost dead before they even after Uber because you guys weren't aware that you needed a hold second. And I would say if you're not aware, to just stabilize and do the conservative play instead of running around. I assume this is just a one round if these guys get on the doors. No, these guys are really slow. So what their team should have done here is left one person to cap set, and everyone comes forward. Your demo man sticks one spawn, and the soldiers spam the other door, and you just win because you can't leave
Yeah, here I
spawn.
was yelling at our soldier, get on the point, but I didn't notice the sentry, I guess.
And the
Still
sentry
worked
wasn't
out.
blocking the point anyway. It worked out, but what you actually do is you leave your scout on second, the medic, the soldier, and the demo come to
Yeah,
last.
our
Yeah,
med was calling these. Just getting
that's
our
like
one scout on, but sometimes it didn't happen.
that's like a higher level thing to like skip points to hold people in spawn. So don't worry about it. Okay. See if do you guys try Valley any of these mids, or is it choke every single mid?
I
Okay.
think we tried choke every single time, unironically.
Okay. No, it's not necessarily bad.
One thing I noticed is that I'll show up to mid with like 100 HP and I could easily get bombed. I have like one scout with me. So should I go back to my medic? Or should I just commit to going one side and shooting some long
So
range
the only
stickies?
person that can actually be a threat to you on mid is the Roman soldier, because he's the only person that can theoretically be as quick as you can. So yes, they can do a funny bomb where they just land on you and choke and you both die and that. But realistically, you just get in on the mid, wait for your
So
combo.
even if I'm
Like
not completely healthy, I should just
Demo Man
do
isn't.
my demo
Yeah,
rollout roll of taking it the first damage, doing the first damage.
Demo isn't that healthy on the Sunshine rollout in
I
general.
see.
So I have to skip back to see how this mid goes. You'll arrive here. You'll try to sticky snipe the other Demo Man.
Yep.
Or sticky off Valley if you anticipate their team's going to walk
I
through
couldn't
Valley.
shoot stickies through the point, so I had to walk to either left or right side and try to get
You can
choked.
shoot them right through you.
Yeah, I can shoot through there?
Yeah, of course you can.
I need get.
You
I
shoot
usually
through
just
the
walk
left or
left
right
side.
gap. Yeah. Well, choke to left side's weird. I feel like if you're going left side, you just roll out Valley.
Mm,
What you sort of do is you sticky snipe and wait for your medic to give you a bow, and then you do whatever your
I
plan is to the mid.
see.
That's
Okay.
what
So
demo
I
does
play long
really.
range until I get healthy.
Yeah, you just sticky snipe till your combo arrives. Or if you
Alright.
could see that their Roman soldier isn't fast, you can take more space. But generally, anticipate getting a bow. So once you know your med's nearly on mid, walk in like a straight line so you can bow you. As like in my like games, I'm almost always bowing a demo man on mid on Sunshine because that's just how the mid goes. Um, so yeah, it's normal for a demo man to not be that healthy on the rollout.
Okay.
Okay, look at mid again. Okay, so we have our two flank players rolling out calf, and we're going to do like a right side crunch, which isn't a bad plan. Same sort of things happen though, where one this demo man, because I know it's not you. This demo man's a little bit slow, so their players are a lot more further forward than they would be when he's this health. So you'd be anticipating a bow and taking a bow right now. Like this never happens, right? A scout doesn't just run into a demo man and one hit them on a mid as the first engagement. That should never happen. Obviously, 'cause you should just be there quicker than any scouts, and then your
We
medic
went
should be able to bow you.
hysterical in VC over this one. Just hold. He just held down W and got away with it.
Yeah. Thing is, though, as a demo man, mechanically, if you see the scout has rolled out choke and he is running in a straight line across the point, you just put two stickies on the floor here. But yeah, part of that stems because you are just slower than the enemy team. Because a demo man falls here, this entire right side crunch fails because your flank players just get rolled. And yeah, we should just be running and again aware of the fact, and this is sort of a medic thing and a combo thing. If you see they've taken this left side space and gone into calf, just know in 2 seconds they're going to be behind you choke or can be behind you choke.
What's that scout doing?
I know you're trying to dodge the scout, but you need to prioritize leaving because these soldiers, if they're not low skill, will just jump through choke and kill you. As weird as that sounds, it's like, yeah, you got to try and dodge this scout. But if this soldier's actually good at TF2, he's like speed shotting through choke and just landing on you if you're not immediately running out through lower lobby. Which you make it out anyway, but it's just a thing. I know you're trying to you're focusing too hard on dodging the scout when you need to be aware there's other threats like the soldier jumping through choke. This is a small thing.
So would the call here be last hold, since we're already there?
So, as a main caller, you take a look at the game state, and the game state is you guys have a 4v4 on second. You should be aware that these two players literally just respawned. So this is what I would call like very opinionated. Different teams will play it different ways. A trade here on second is definitely not bad. It's bad because your flank scout's fed. Like he shouldn't have died this late again, and it seems to keep happening. But well, like so you got to think what happens right when the Ubers are out of the way and the trade's over. Who's going to be back in the fight? They're going to have those players back from spawn once the Uber trade's over, and you guys are going to be on a 6v5, on a 5v6, sorry, because you're down a scout, which isn't necessarily bad because you're the ones defending. You got to be aware that a 5v6 trade where your scout's not going to make it for the post Uber is risky. So you sort of these are very like 50-50 calls on what one you make.
Nice
This
surf
changes a
path.
lot if you get the photos or they drop.
And here I beef all of my
Oh,
Unlucky.
CPs.
If this
Yeah.
medic has Uber, he uses, by the way. I guarantee he fear uses
I
that if he
beefed a
does
lot of
actually
stickers
have.
on the bombing soldier, but Pav is just really cracked at surfing.
I mean, at this point, you're immediately out, right? You're down 2 at this point now. You guys need to already be building that sentry gun. Get in spawn, build that sentry gun. See, like, it's too slow. Still not a sentry gun. Still not a sentry gun. And now they've Ubered in.
I don't recall seeing many sentry guns like at all from them.
It's just newer players undervalue off-classing and holding last properly in general. Everyone does it.
Out of here.
Everyone stays on scout, whereas like in higher level, you're not going to see a scout on last ever. Okay, that's unlucky.
We tried to
Minor
salvage
thing,
this.
yeah. So you got to anticipate that, right? That the push didn't work for them. Their med died. They have nothing to lose because they're all going to forward spawn mid anyway. They are just going to salvage for your medic. So as a medic, you need to be like telling your team. First of all, your team shouldn't be trying to push out. It's a 4v4, right? It's not like free to get out at all. And as medic, you want to sort of just be baked in for that salvage play
One
instead
time
of
I
being
tried
committed on
tried
point.
to salvage from medic and he used the wooden technique of walking in spawn and I just had to stare at them as I died.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And 2 of your players fed trying to push out a last immediately, right? Which doesn't make sense. So if you win your last defense, 1, see what the threats are. Are they going to salvage on your medic? No, okay, then we can immediately walk. If yes, wait a second before we try to walk out. 2, can we get everyone healthy before we go? Yes. 3, what doors are everyone covering when we leave? And 4, what are the back cap threats? So if you know someone's just come off a respawn timer and they could be playing spy, you want to leave a soldier on last. If they can't be on spy, then just make sure you have someone on every door as you're leaving last. And then obviously prioritize cap in second as quickly as possible. You guys could have got her last year, but it went dicey because you pushed out before you got healthy and before you actually like thought about what the threats were to your team.
Okay.
And it turns into just a fiesta. It seems. And it's the same sort of thing. Like you guys don't really have any advantage that can get you out of last, so we should just be setting up a last defense here. Like yes, you got 1 player pick, but 1 player pick is not enough to leave Sunshine last. You know, so where's the sentry gun? Where's the pyro? Where's the sniper? You know, this stuff should be getting set up in this downtime whilst their players are rolling back out. This is bad. You know, it is just bad. Like you die every time doing this against competent players.
Thing is, I don't think either of their scouts here know how to can snipe. Actually, that Doku can snipe, but he doesn't she doesn't want to.
You guys have no advantage, and you've just fed 2 players out of last in the interest of what? Like, what was the roamer and flank scout actually trying to get out of doing this? There's nothing to play for. The med, you've killed the med, but these guys can just dry fight your last. Do you know what I mean? And what I will say is 99% of the time, you're not going to be given a med pick just sacking out a last for no reason. So the fact you even got a med pick from it is lucky. So just, it needs to be checked. What is the game state? It's a 5v5. We have no advantage to get out of last. Let's actually just set up a sentry gun and set up our sniper, set up our pyro. Instead, you end up with this like chaos gameplay where there's just constant chaos, which is fun, I suppose. It's not how you win games with TF2.
Yeah. Fair
That
enough.
moment, Birchy, at that moment, like Toku and I had the same idea of like sacking for the net, but we didn't call that which one of us is gonna do it, so we both end up doing it at the same time.
Yeah, no, I get it, but what I will say is realistically, what are the chances that sack will even come off? And the answer is very unlikely because the medic, there aren't good sack routes out of Sunshine last. If their medic's playing disciplined in front of Calf, you're not killing him. So sacks out of last are difficult on Sunshine in the first place. 2,
I seem
they
to
don't
have
have.
trouble. I seem to have
They,
trouble protecting my own medic as Demo,
Mhm.
mostly because a lot of the time I'll put down stickies, but they'll always be in the air against it, and I end up wasting a bit of my ammo. And also, I can't consistently hit pipe air shots, even on the easiest, straightforward
It's
rocket
not your
jumps.
job as demo man to deny plays onto your medic. It's your scout's job and your medic's positioning's job. So when you're trying to defend them from pushing out to last, you're just sticks on shutter, sticks on bats. If a soldier jumps through lower, your medic's position needs to be good enough that he can live for long enough that the scout kills him. Because this, like, if you just look at this from a soldier's point of view, how on earth are you meant to kill a medic that stood over here when this is your way out of last? Do you know what I mean? So that's what I mean. Where like stacks out of Sunshine last just don't work. Also, what are we actually sacking for? They don't have Uber. Yes, it's worked out magically, and we now have an ad. But it was a 5v5. We didn't have an advantage. They didn't have Uber, so it's not our turn to make a play, right? Like we shouldn't be sacking. We should be setting up our last to anticipate them to push or sack. That's sort of just general last theory for you guys. I know it doesn't really play out perfectly in games like this. Capping this is optimistic because you've lost 2 players. Yeah, we get forced. It's kind of that is going to happen if you don't have a scout with you. You should be leaving now, right? Like their whole team's in.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 3v4 about to be a 3v6. Mainly because we lost our flank players. But the push out was optimistic at best anyway. And I imagine this converts to a lost round. No, they all die again. Okay, some random stuff goes on. There's not much I can really take from this because it's just chaos gameplay at the moment. But yeah, it's these fights in lobbies don't make sense, guys. Like, if you don't have an advantage, get out of lobby on Sunshine. Like, you have no business being in Sunshine. Especially, like, feeding a scout into lobby when you could be on a defensive off-class instead. I get if it's a pug and you're messing around and it's funny to try and kill people in lobby. Like, if you actually want me to give, like, serious feedback, like, this is terrible, right? Like, there's no
Yeah.
reason to go and lose your life as scout in lobby.
Understood.
Just get on an off-class and hold. If you're goofing around and you want to run into lobby, like that's a different story. But like, if you actually want me to give proper feedback, like that's just trolling. And you guys stalemate. That's funny. Yeah, it was just a bunch of chaos for 3 minutes. Yeah, it's like it seems like your scout has this button where he spawns, runs into them, either kills someone or dies. Like there's no actual like thought into what's going on.
Thank you, Doku. Very
And like,
cool.
I've played with scouts like that, like bro, it's so horrible to play with because they usually will have really good DM as well, but they'll just play completely brain dead.
Oh,
No, Doku dropped
yeah.
Pav. I don't know how he
Ouch.
did it. It wasn't supposed to
Yeah, and
happen.
it like you are the worst player to play with because like you want to flame you, but then you have good DM, so it's like hard to
Okay.
flame you. But like the way you're playing is terrible. But
But
then you like win these fights anyway.
Shots
Jeez.
fired.
Like, can you see like immediately at the start of the mid how much like healthier and well positioned these guys are than you? So it's like really
Yeah.
hard to give you guys feedback on like these mids.
So just like we just see it over and over again. I think it gets like drilled into our brain eventually, like memorization, I guess.
Again, so you actually because I think you guys, if you guys got to mid at the same speed as the enemies and had the same health, you're winning these fights. Like you're nearly winning these fights. So like way disadvantaged positions and health. Same
Hmm.
sort of thing. If you're committing to the right side, don't sort of stay there straggling alone as a soldier because this scout is just going to kill you and you won't be able to do anything. He's struggling a bit because he's not very good, but like if he just runs and jumps in the shed, he will just kill you. And otherwise, the actual rotate right and crunch by your team is good, and like you've won a mid. Now, are we tracking the fact that the scout went valley? This should have been called by the person that died to him. Okay, good. Good. Okay. Okay, so what I would say for you, Hamlet, is when you're down both scouts and they have soldiers and demo coming off a respawn,
Okay.
and their medic is dead, you need to be thinking that they're gonna want to just suicide into you to try and salvage the Uber situation. So yes, you want to cap mid, but like my positioning here is at best beaming this soldier from here
Okay.
because there's a world where instead of like just walking in, this demo and soldier comes flying in through valley in the skybox to just try and sack on you on the point. At which point you can then bait choke. Whereas when you're here, you're committed to, I don't know, you're gonna die. If a demo man and soldier comes flying through valley here, you only have this soldier on the floor to protect you. Just keep that in mind. Keep like what are my threats and what can defend me? And the answer is only my soldier on the floor, and the threats are a demo man and soldiers high bombing through valley, right? Which is like actually very scary. So yes, I know you want to quote unquote cap the mid, but preserving the Uber situation is better. So you should just be bait and choke.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah,
I'm
but
with
there
you.
you go. Luckily, you get force threat. So yeah, it's a good example. Instead, what you could have done is just waited a bit, had your team come back. You could have took mid for free. You wouldn't have had to use because there's all their players are dead except those two, and then you would have had 100 Uber ad to push second or maybe even last with you.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Guys should recognize now that with this player ad, you can just sort of walk in. You've got a scout and a soldier down. You guys can just try and pressure this. This sniper pick is stupid. I guess maybe you swap to this before they got the force.
Why did
It's
we
good.
go
Okay, it
sniper
looks like you
here?
do recognize you can push this. Okay, this is good. And you just have to bust through immediately. Things to be aware as a medic. The sniper's unlucky, but bait Valley hard if you're pushing Valley. So I like to think. So I draw an imaginary line between this wall and this wall. Once you cross this, you're committed. If a soldier high bombs over here, you won't be able to escape. If you're down here, you're just going to get rolled. So you
Okay.
want to be very conservative with walking this way until your team have taken the space and it's clear. Then you can walk up with them, rather than like leading the charge with your scout. Unless obviously you're going to Uber through the door.
Okay.
Because your team won the fight, so you didn't need to die immediately at the start. You know what I mean? You could have played a bit more conservative.
Yeah.
The sniper pick's weird though. I wouldn't have expected that either. It doesn't really make sense at this time. You must have swapped to it before they got the force on you. Damascus cleaning up. Okay. Okay. So like in situations like this now where stuff's gone, the push failed a bit, lots of them died, lots of the U died. Rather than all running back in and feeding again, it'd be cool to see you guys like stabilize a bit, right? And then like
Yeah.
actually evaluate what's going on. So good, good. Your combo's getting healthy, your flanks walking up value, no seconds free. Good. This is how it should be played. And then you just lock the doors. Yeah, don't overchase, just get on the doors. Yeah, good. And then yeah, I mean, whatever your scout's doing. Killing their med, apparently. How do you criticize this gameplay? Like it's terrible,
Yeah.
but he's just gone in and made you guys have 100 ad. Anyway, I've played with players like that. All you have to do is focus on what the combo does. So the call to try and take a dry fight before you have Uber is a valid call. It's risky, but it's a completely fine call to make because you guys have 2-player ad. So options you had basically when your scout made that pick is, well, we have 2 picks. We can just try and take this 5v4. That's a completely good call. No problem with that. or you could have waited and played the ad. If we are going to push it dry, things to be aware of are if you're walking left or top right, they can be sniping. So just make sure you're baiting the door as medic. Because at worst, if the push goes bad, you can still just leave and then play another push with the Uber ad, right? So just bait
Yeah.
the doors a bit when you're going for this push. Be aware of hiders in lobby. Good. Yeah, good. And then you guys can just get in through any door and get straight on the point. Good. Yeah, this is good.
Unrelated question.
Mm-hmm.
Should I do demo jump maps?
I don't really play Demo Man, but honestly, I don't think demo jumping's that important, but more so than just being comfortable doing the jumps you need for your rollouts and
Yeah,
your
because
bombs into
D6X
points.
demo jumper will do the T1 jumps way more consistently and efficiently, but
I,
it
I
might not be
don't
worth
I
the
don't
time
yeah
commitment.
I don't practice jumping. What I will say is, isn't it like higher level demo maps a bunch of like chaining pogos and sticky sinks
Yeah,
and stuff like that doesn't apply to
double
sixes. Like you're never
stickies,
doing
but I can't pull off the one sticky midair.
like you just that's like other than like one fast rollout you can do on process, you never use these mechanics in sixes. So no, I don't think you do. I think most importantly for Demo Man is getting his jumps. Like when I say his jumps, I mean like for example, bombing into second on process with an Uber, getting his jumps and his rollouts to an acceptable level, and then just focusing on your DM is probably correct for sixes Demo Man.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think you have to like. Arguably, you could start doing that stuff on Soldier, but for Demo, I really don't think it's necessary. I think your DM on Demo Man's way more important than sixes. There's like a baseline level you have to get your jump into just to get to mid and like the bomb points, and from there it's just getting better DM.
Wouldn't positioning be preferable to DM?
I
Or
kind yeah. When I say DM, I sort of encapsulate all like mechanical stuff, like where you stand, the damage. Yeah,
okay,
I cover all of that. I'd say yeah. I'm saying there's more important things to focus on than your.
jumps.
Okay, so now you guys report your flank scout. You guys won the mid, and then he decided to go 1v1 their combo with the Medi Beam and nearly win.
Yeah.
So
Why is Pav there? He's leaving me to die. No. Nah.
I mean, he's supporting his scout. Like you guys, literally, right? Okay, so I won't rewind it because it'll take too much time. You guys had pushed them out of mid completely. At that point, get your soldier and demo spam on the doors so they can't walk back in, and then just get your scouts and medic on good height and good positioning. Obviously, the medic doesn't play on the height, and then they can't even re-enter the mid. Instead, our soldiers are stuck on Tetris, not really doing anything. No insult to you guys, it's just how it is. Two soldiers on Tetris not doing anything when you could be applying spam on the choke so they can't recommit. And then your flank scout is completely away from the direction of your team, feeding into their combo on CAF, which achieves nothing. Imagine a scenario instead where you have your soldier spam on choke, your demo man's locked out Valley, and you have a scout on top of Bell Tower and a scout on top of Tetris. They are never getting back into mid, and you guys have won the mid. I get the attempt as a flank scout here to want to try and kill the med. So like, we won the mid and we got the med. It's so good, but instead you've like actually just opened up a doorway for them to recommit into mid. I won't hound on about what your flank scout's doing because he seems like he's playing for fun anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, nice salvage on the force, but like this, you guys had won this mid until you just give them it. So actually, like, there's some positive things about you guys mid fights. If you guys got quicker and had more discipline on like rotations and not feeding for fun, actually, there's some solid stuff. Again, set up your last defense. Don't run into lobby. Flank scout, obviously, but then the rest of you guys are following him as well. You guys should just be setting up your last defense.
Oh my
And
god.
then yeah, that guy isn't allowed to do that if you have people on the doors. But as demo man, you got. I know he's not here, but just for you as demo man, that scout shouldn't be able to do that anyway because you should have sticks on the door, right? Then be spamming pipes, like so. Like the scout shouldn't be
There's
able to
some
just walk
doors
in.
which are like too high
Yeah,
for me to put good damage stickies on. They'll do like 30 damage each, and it's terrible.
they don't necessarily even need to be damaged stickies. They're just sort of like you can't walk through this door for free right now stickies. Do you know what I mean? Like they don't have to be traps. They can just be sticks on the door that like just
So
deter
like
them
on
from
instead
running
of the
in.
scene, I can go on the left and right sides, the little
I mean,
columns
you can
there.
just you can just chuck them here, or even on the ramp, like anywhere. Like the scout is then gonna have to shoot them
Just
one by
area
one if he wants to
denial,
run in
happy
this door.
days.
Yeah, and
And
guys get
hopefully we'll have a natural sentry. Yay.
I mean, it's I
Goku,
mean, it's
please
up to
go
you guys.
NG.
It's up to you guys how serious you want to take it. But yeah, if you want to, you can set up your last holds properly, and a lot of this stuff doesn't happen. But I'll leave that to you guys.
Yeah,
I got
thank
a
you.
llama. I named that bitch Tina. Nice.
Hmm.
Good binds, bro.
Oh, yeah, interesting binds.
This mid is looking good at the start. Again, major soldier issue, right? Where we've committed to a side, but our soldiers are stuck in choke. Partly because they're not getting healthy enough on the rollout. You know, we've gone over this. This situation looks a lot nicer if your pocket soldier's 300 HP on top of red cafe roof and your roamers on bell tower. At that point, you guys are almost already won the mid, right? Because these soldiers can then just spam these players from re-enter in the mid, and you guys can focus on these other players. And the flank scout probably shouldn't be so committed into 2. Maybe perhaps on shed is good. Because unfortunately you don't have the players to support you here. So shed is good if you want to like be if you want to be like the flank scout, which like sits opposite to the combo. That's okay, but you have to be a little bit less committal here because you don't have anyone supporting you. So maybe on shed if you want to stay on the side of the mid. Yeah, you get focused down by 2 people. Issue here was you guys held W into the choke players, unaware of the fact that these flank players could just turn onto you and crunch you. So you rotated to this strong position on Tetris, but then you over rotated into them choke into a position where you can get collapsed on by the flank and the combo. So that's where that went badly.
We rotated too much that time.
Yeah, so there's this like trap that like newer teams fall into that because they hear it's a rotate mid that thinks they have to like keep going round and round and round and round. No, you just move in one direction to good positioning and then take a team fight, or hold in good positioning and then take a team fight. You don't have to like, oh, we're playing left side, we have to just keep walking left, and oh shit, we're in their choke and everyone's shooting us.
Right.
So yeah, don't fall into the trap of rotate means you have to just run straight into them. You can take your time to get like okay, so they have 2 players over here away from their medic on Tetris, right? And then they have these
Yeah.
players locked out in choke. Imagine, just for example, your scout doesn't die here because they're safe on shed. Or even if your scout does die, it's still not over. Your scout's alive on shed. You have a Roman soldier on bell tower and your pocket soldier up here on cafe roof. This calf soldier is able to spam out choke, and then your team can walk across point and kill these 2 players Tetris. Do you know what I mean? So like these players are locked out by your spam classes, and then the rest of your players can actually just focus on the players that are stuck in without help from their team. And then you
Okay.
guys will have full control of mid and you'll just lock these players out. Instead, what happens is you forget about these players on this flank. You walk your combo in between them both and you get crunched. Whereas instead, if you just get healthy in these strong positions, keep these guys locked out of mid and kill the people stuck in, then it's winning for you guys. So like actually, like a lot of these mids, you won a few and a lot of them are close as well. Intense. Unlucky.
My God.
The scout does whatever he wants. He's straight back
Whoa.
in as well.
What the fuck?
Why? The
This
random
person wants to
pug.
be Doku so badly.
Hmm.
Trying to copy your scout's playstyle.
Yeah.
You will never be
them.
him.
Yeah.
I don't know pronouns.
Yeah, Doku kills this soldier if they do it instead. This is good, Damascus, to actually like leave because this is like your only play, right? Like as soon as they pop through that door, you try to jump away. Unfortunate, you meet a soldier in dungeon, but that's the correct thing to try and get away, and then recommit. But you meet a soldier, it's unlucky.
So soldiers can like hide during their last push and go for the post Uber defense.
So the way it generally works is what you want to do is have your soldiers on doors, so you get early info if they're pushing with an Uber. So this is what I'm speaking now is strictly like when you're on big disad, right? So you have your soldiers on the doors, and the intention being that they can apply spam, which makes the enemy have to use to get through that door. But then they prioritize jumping away to stay healthy. Well, not jumping away to stay healthy, jumping away so they don't just die to the Uber. So, for example, you have two soldiers on two different doors.
Mm-hmm.
If they decide they're going to try and push through soldier number one's door, soldier number one spams rockets to make them have to Uber, then he jumps away. In this time, soldier number two makes sure he is healthy. He doesn't take any damage because he's going to be the person that first jumps to block the point when they go onto the point. So soldier one jumps away to spawn to get healthy again, and then soldier number two jumps to contest the point. In which time soldier one gets healthy again in spawn and with the medic, and then when soldier number two dies, soldier number one then bombs the point to block the point. So then you guys have like a bunch of like two healthy soldiers to fight post Uber because the first one was used just to make their Uber happen, and then he lives. And then the second soldier jumps in post Uber really healthy to deny point, and then soldier number one cycles that pattern and then takes his turn to jump the point. That's obviously perfect world scenario, but that's sort of like what soldiers' aim is on like disad last holds.
I mean, that sounds pretty simple. Actually, I think we practice that.
I mean, yeah, it's simple in theory, but in practice it can be difficult. Like Damascus, like the only way you could have even lived here is you managed to jump straight into that spawn door with like it was just a difficult jump. But yeah, that's generally the soldiers' roles on last. Win it, win it, win it, win it, win it.
You win it.
Nice. And the taunt as well. Okay, so you guys spawn up. Let's have a look at like this is what you need to be thinking as a main caller. These enemy players died recently, so there's a world where we can try and push. So our scouts out.
Oh.
I don't hate this as much, but what you need to be doing as the scout here is actually call what you see forward so your team know if they can walk in or not. If it's just a demo man, you guys can walk in, or it's shit, I'm gonna die, or I'm gonna try and live. Just tell your team what's actually happening forward if you're out getting this information. At this point, now they've respawned and you guys have failed to get onto the second cap, you're immediately swap into a last defense, right? Like all hope of you guys getting out of last is now over because their spawners are back. So
You got him.
wait, he
The
gets
worst
out.
part-
Please tell me he goes back around and gets another kill.
Yes, he does.
No.
Eventually.
He's out of there.
No, yeah, but you need to evaluate how because getting out of last needs to be a quick process. Like you do it immediately and then cap the point, or you don't, right? So as soon as your scout was out, so you guys weren't getting out with them, they can sort of just go, yeah, this is a last hold. Because I've seen you guys have won about 6 fights defending your last, literally just running around on the floor like this. Imagine if you guys had a sentry gun.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Now, like we have to practice our holds a bit
Yeah,
more.
the spy is still alive.
Ah!
That is hilarious. Obviously, you need to be aware the spy lived there, right? Like, you shouldn't be getting backstabbed when your job's to hold the
Yeah.
point. Just be aware of it, yeah.
Shit, I wasn't watching. Was that the one where All-Star got stabbed blatantly and he backcapped?
Yeah,
No,
It's
that
the
was
spy that
me.
got
Okay, I was
it's the
typing
spy
notes.
that got a stab, lived, and then everyone forgot that he still lived, and he just went back in. Okay, this is good. Soldier immediately committed. Problem is, you've jumped into the side that they go in, which is unfortunate. You get punished for being slow as pocket soldier here, so this is looking really rough already because these guys have gone quickly into you. This is the issue with choke to left side, because if you go valley to left side, it's the same thing and less spam on choke. Okay. You guys actually absorb their aggression really well. At this point, stop chasing. You've won your 1v1 on the flank, and this goes for you, Akaru, as well, because you're now leaving your medic, but flank scout as well. You guys are up a player. The idea needs to be to just keep your medic up, not to chase extra kills, because like you've overcooked this so hard, right? You absorb their aggression, and then immediately swap to we have more players, let's push them. Unaware of the fact that in absorbing their aggression, a lot of your players got unhealthy. So once you get that player ad, you can sort of go, let's just take a second to get health and evaluate what we're going to do. Because instead, what happens is you're about to die because you ran directly into 4 players when you could have just sat on Tetris with your mid. So you die for that. And then your flank scout stuck in behind. See how there's a world where when you get those 2 picks, these 2 scouts immediately pull back to share done Tetris, and then your combo walks in together, you're just fighting a 5v4, yeah? Instead of you guys just dying randomly. So it's like funny, you guys win like these mid engagements all the time and then find a way to like lose it afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Which is a
So
good
we-
thing because it means you have the ability to actually win the mids if you like just sort out the discipline a bit.
So like we get like picks and don't like get too more like don't over aggress even.
Well, I
though-
think it's just because you guys are new, you should play more conservative. So you've made it a 5v4, which means yes, you guys will win a fight if you take one. But there's a bunch of howevers to think about that you don't. So it's like there needs to be however our combo's stuck in Valley because they were hiding from the soldier bombs. 2, we have worse health than them because we took a lot of damage to absorb their bombs. And 3, is everyone ready to actually push the same time with us? The answer is no. But our 2 scouts have gone forward with our beam in Valley. Imagine instead, right? These 2 scouts are both 185 HP with a demo man spamming behind them. It's just auto win, right? You guys can't lose. It's like so good. But instead, you
Yeah.
guys stay on low health as scout and try to take these engagements. But instead, you should just back up, take us because you have time. You don't have to like rush these things. Get healthy in this area. Your medic and demo man here, scout there, scout on Tetris. Then you guys can just spam them in chalk with your demo and walk the scouts across point. And like it's just so free. So I'd say like keeping your combo together is just a priority in 6s in general. So scout medic demo needs to be like really tightly knit. So like that over chase is pretty bad. Then also as a flank scout, you should also be able to recognize that if you just get in. So this is an important theory for like flank players. There's times in which it's way more impactful for you to just get in the combo with the other scout and just double scout stuff and win fights. So while at the start of fights and in downtime, your job is to be on the flank. As the longer the longer fights go on, scout becomes more important as a class. So later in the fight, scout is more valuable. So if you find yourself with your medic 185 later in the fight, your class is like 10 times more powerful. Like imagine like a 4v4, it's got really scrappy, but your team has 285 HP scouts running around with a medic. Like your team are gonna win. So just something to keep in mind.
Why
Yeah.
is it
Go on.
why is it that the longer a fight goes on, the more valuable scout gets?
Scout's a cleanup class, right? Like it takes a 300 HP soldier to take on a scout is extremely difficult. The likelihood that that soldier ever gets back to 300 HP on that fight is like 0, right? That's way too
I
much
see.
time commitment for his medic to heal him up. And obviously he has ammo management to deal with, where a scout can sort of be in a fight like at the drop of a coin. So yeah, and when it's just the way the class works as well. He's nippy, he's healthy, he can jump around. Once fights become chaotic or not controlled by the spam classes, Scout just thrives. So yeah, in summary, keep your combo close together. Flank players, be aware when it's powerful for you to just get in the combo. And the answer is when the fights get scrappy, being with the medic is so powerful with 2 scouts. And please, guys, set up a last defense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we will definitely do that from here on out, I swear.
Okay, when I'm pushing last hold as the Uber demo, it's an Uber handshake, right? We both have Uber, we both popped. What should I do? Should I put stickies on point? Should I trap their door? Should I try to
Are you
launch their Ubers?
defending or attacking?
Attacking. So we both Uber, right? Should I try to launch their Uber combo with two stickies? Should I trap the point? Should I trap the door?
Specifically on last push?
I mean,
Specifically
you
on the
can
last
say
push?
either. You can say
So
any
obviously
push.
the boring answer is it depends. My partner's alarm going off. The boring answer is it depends. If you see a lot of people retreat the spawn, then you can do in the Uber lock off the spawn doors, right? Like that's obviously an option. Sticking points an option. Do you have the cat time? 1 second.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sorry about that. Sticking the spawn doors an option, sticking points an option. Laying area control where things will end post Uber is an option, but that's like very specific. I don't know if I can give examples of that. Like for example, if there's a few Ubered players behind this, you could lit carpet here or here, is if that makes sense.
Okay.
Um, it's contextual, but like point is almost certainly never a bad one. Even not spamming stickies and just making sure you're fully loaded for post Uber is a good thing to do as well. You obviously don't want the Uber to end, and when the players are finally available to take damage from you, and all you've got loaded is 2 pipes and 1 sticky. So that's something to keep in mind as well. It's not necessarily bad to use
Okay,
the
how
Uber duration.
valuable is me using my stickies to launch Uber players to the ceiling? Because sometimes I'll do that, but it won't really like change the result of the fight.
I think
I'll do
near
that
the
all
end
the
of the Uber,
time.
it could be good because it'll throw the team apart. Or if it stops your medic from being able to flash someone, it could be valuable. But I think like that's getting into like very niche mechanics. I would
Sounds
obviously,
niche.
I didn't really mention it because I thought it'd sort of be self-explanatory. But having ammo post Uber is like way more important than any of these things you can do during an Uber.
So having
It's a
the extra
trade.
2 stickies in my clip would be more important than sending the medic to the stratosphere.
Oh yeah, a million times, bro. And I'm not even thinking 2 stickies. I'm not thinking like 6 stickies. Demo Man's sticky gun launcher is like the best gun in the game. Like having that loaded post Uber from a safe position where you can just pound the point is like so much more useful than random sticks during an Uber that don't get anything. Disclaimer, not a demo man, but like having your weapons loaded post Uber should be like an obvious.
Yeah.
Okay, just more chaos. I think there's much to learn from this. Again, I won't go over the last holds. We've talked about it. That needs to happen. And feeding into lobby as well. Okay, this is good because we prioritize the cap, knowing that that's what you need to get when you get out of last. That's good. where are you going? You're on a mission. Where are you going? Maybe this could be good. You guys, if you have this player in behind, and this is just how this player is going to play. Okay, these guys are more switched on. They have the midpoint right, so they can choose to just go forward and take
I
a
remember
6v5.
seeing this guy. I saw one scout. I was like, you know what? He can win the 1v1. Our medic won't die horribly, right?
What I
Right?
honestly
All right, I
would
turn
do as
around.
red tier, what I would do as red tier is ignore the scout and take a fight forward because you'll have a player advantage fight and you have the midpoint.
He didn't win. He won. He won the 1v1.
Yeah, but it's coin flip, right? In terms of
Yeah.
like how you choose to play this, not like it's not correct to just take a 50-50 unless you know you're reliably able to skill check the opposition. But that's like on a per game basis. That shouldn't be your like default way to play. Keem descends into chaos again. Okay. Yeah, a bunch of randomness happens. When will the random sacks end? They won't. The scout is back in again. Oh my god. You've got Doku on the beam. Look, they're going to kill everyone now. Because they've decided to get healed for the first time this game. It's fine. Once you get 185 HP a few more times, you'll get addicted and then you'll get healed more often. Just like a whole extra rocket you
I
can eat.
beefed my stickies when Doku came for me
Yeah.
a few seconds ago, but my soldier saved my ass.
Unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, I think this game is just... What happened to the time limit, guys? By the
Depending
way?
on camera.
I think the timer went out, but the game didn't end.
Because this is played for 30 minutes.
Yeah, the timer will hit 0, but it'll still keep going. I'm not sure if that's supposed to happen.
No,
This
it's
better
not.
call
Unless
thing.
it's an Asia Fortress config thing, but...
Oh, it is Agent Fortress, I think. Yeah, you're right.
You guys play
Yeah.
like a Banny config type of thing where you guys could... This game could technically go on forever if you guys keep winning rounds?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't know much about this format, but okay, I'll just...
It's a bit weird. I think it's fine.
Isn't
But
it to stop teams from like just stalemating if they're ahead.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
the losing team can
yeah.
always come back. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I think it's an okay idea, but like you end up with then like 45-minute games, which I don't think is healthy.
Really? I kind of like it. I'm on it's, but that's just me. Maybe I have like.
It's okay, but like the problem is when you're dealing with scheduling and stuff, like it's horrible for games to run for 2 hours
Oh.
when they're meant to only run for an hour.
Mhm.
There's pros and cons.
All right. Makes sense.
You feeder.
Push feet.
It's like there's this 6v6 going on, but then there's like mini game of Doku and King Meep trying to fight each other 1v1 24/7.
I know.
Maybe.
It's so entertaining.
Yeah.
No, the drop.
Yeah, that one hurt physically. I think I lost a few years off my life because of that one.
Unlucky. What is the log for this game? How many times has both flank scouts died? This is crazy.
We can
It's
check.
crazy. I think
It's
Probably
like,
30
actually
plus.
It's actually impressive. Like you respawn and either kill someone or die. Like it's such an interesting gameplay loop.
Yeah.
Look again.
One
I
must
think-
imagine Doku happy.
44 kills and 40 death.
Oh my god.
12,000 damage.
Sheesh.
My bro.
Okay.
Legit the rival of your steakhouse with the beef I'm having. Okay.
Okay. In the interest of being able to cover some in-service stuff. Oh, okay. The demo ends. That's weird because I thought that was a 5-2. Anyway.
No, it was 1-5.
Oh, okay.
One round. It's better than none.
Yeah. Honestly, there was actually like the one round you got was actually well pushed, and the mid fights.
Bro,
You
show
won.
the 5-5 game, bro. Let's just go there.
I think we won't have time for both maps today because like I said before, I think I mentioned to you I do have to disappear,
yeah.
but I can talk about some on Sunshine stuff for you guys.
Yeah, just hit us with the Sunshine.
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
have time to do another demo.
No worries, no worries, no worries. Yeah. Yeah,
talk about it.
I'm not gonna try and hold you hostage.
This config. Please don't crash TF2.
Oh. D50. Kind of like 1v1s.
TF2 don't crash challenge.
Yeah.
Damn.
Try again. Oh my god.
I guess
Yeah.
I think in my mind I was like kinda do a last hole, but everyone seems like not.
Together, not knowing what they're supposed to do. I feel like.
Yes,
Yeah, it's fine.
like-
I can talk about this now, and if you guys,
Yeah.
and I don't know if this is like, because you guys have a set roster of 6, or do you rotate players? Because I remember you were doing that for a while.
Oh,
I think we still rotate a bit.
I think we rotate the demo man because like one of them can play weekends.
Yeah.
Soldier.
Well, it's okay if you have a sub demo man, but I mean, like, you guys aren't just like a mixed group, right? You do have like at least some consistent
Actually,
players.
yeah, we have like permanent members of the roster now. And that's
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, who is like often playing with you guys? Like, what
Me,
is your team?
Hikaru, Damascus All Star, and Doku actually.
Okay, nice. Okay, so you guys have quite fixed roster. So I'll
Yeah.
tell you guys the 2 holds and the sorts of stuff you need to do, and then if you want to use it, that's completely up to you.
Yeah.
Is my pocket soldier here?
Pocket Soldier, that's All Star. Yeah, he's here.
Are you here, All-Star?
Yeah.
Okay. So the way the pocket rollout works, is as soon as the round starts, you want to look down at the floor like a 45-degree angle. So
Wait,
align
the
yourself
screen?
with the spawn door. Oh, sorry. Yeah, my game crashed, didn't it? So the screen showing off. There we go.
Yeah, here. Yeah, I can see it.
So you align yourself so you go out with the spawn door. And then you aim down a 45-degree angle, and then you try not to hit the respawn cabinet, and then you're shooting 4 rockets. This is Sunshine's one of the harder maps to do, actually. But 4 rockets, if you have to, you can turn and jump off the wall. But you need to make sure that you actually take your damage straight away at the start of the round. So, and then swap to your pickaxe and run to mid. You don't want to be re-jumping in spawn, because the whole point of the pocket roller is by the time you get to mid, you have crit heals again. I don't play soldier. Does it? I don't actually know. Perhaps you do only shoot 2 rockets and then jump off the wall. It seems inefficient to try and go up the stairs. But you take 2 rockets out of
You
spawn.
shoot at the door. You shoot at the door.
Oh,
Yeah, like that, like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think the pocket on this map actually only 2 rockets and then does like the Roma jumps. But your like bread and butter for most maps is to just take a 45-degree rocket out of spawn, and I guess on Sunshine you do these jumps instead. But you need to do those, get those rockets off almost as soon as the round starts, and then run with your pickaxe. It's not like re-equip your rocket launcher to shoot extra rockets.
okay.
This is a difficult map, but I know you're struggling on it on some of the other maps as well. So if you just get that habit down, and then I see you guys never go Valley. If you are going Valley, you're doing this Damascus to get into mid as Roman soldier.
When I play, I always go Valley, bro. It's good, right?
Yeah.
Especially like I can go cafe for free. They don't know.
Yeah, there's other options you can do as well. Like I know, and the problem is I'm not the best. I know all the jumps, I just can't do them because I play medic. Obviously, there's the option of Roman soldier rolling out calf instead, and you surf that. And then what happens is if they go this way into mid, you can just walk out behind them and start splashing rockets. But in terms of those actual rollouts, the main one being your pocket and your Roman need to be healthy on the mid. So I can double check for you and perhaps send you a video. I don't know because I don't play soldier. I think you on this map specifically, you shoot 2 rockets and then do this jump. Because I don't think 4 rockets out of spawn really makes sense. I mean, I guess that's actually fine. So yeah, you shoot the 4 rockets immediately out of spawn. You don't like do these high jumps. Run to mid with the pickaxe, take your bow, and then take your 300 overheal. So obviously, because I can't lose health, I won't run with the pickaxe. But you run with your pickaxe, take your bow, waddle into mid till you're 300, and then if you're going right side, obviously you'll want to jump up on calf or bomb with your soldier if you have a specific play. And then if you're going left side instead, which is weird out of choke, your options are to the C-tap, your options are to go bell. And then your Roman soldier can jump all the way over this calf, perhaps, if he's rolling out quickly. But getting your soldiers healthy to mid is like priority. I know I've butchered a bunch of these jumps because I don't play the class, but like I would say it's paramount to like actually get to mid healthy as soldier. So practice the pocket rollout. Sunshine's one of the harder ones, it seems, because I don't actually know what exact jumps you do. It's probably 2, and then this sort of thing would be my guess. That isn't bad. Those rockets got shot quite quickly. And then for you Damascus, if you're going Valley, it's that. Or some variation of. That was a quick thing on the soldier rollouts. I butchered it. Just look up the rollouts of your class. It's important to know them.
Yeah. How about the pyro NG hold?
Yeah, sure. So
Thanks.
So that looks like you have your gun here.
So this is like evens, right?
Hmm?
This evens, right? Even tubers.
You can set it up on disad, but the likelihood is you're not going to have the time to set up this gun on disad. Usually your disad guns are going to be like you just build whatever you can in front of the spawn, right? And then another gun you can do is if you're not doing pyro because you don't think you'll have time to set it up, you can do that gun.
I see.
That can be good.
There's so much variations.
Kind of, but honestly, this map's quite straightforward. This is the gimmick gun you do when you're on disad, and you're not gonna have time to set up like a pyro hold, and like instead you have a sniper over here. You can just quickly set this up. If you're on evens, don't use this gun. It's better to use your gun to deny soldier bombs. This can be good if you're on disad, and it'll catch them off. The pyro hold is you put your gun here. You can put a dispenser on these barrels somehow. put a dispenser on these barrels. Then you play your pyro and your pocket soldier, or Roman soldier if he wants to do it. Your pyro and your pocket soldier up here, and your engineer obviously tanking the gun, and they're responsible for making sure soldiers can't walk around this corner to spam this. Your medic can then sit inside this dispenser, or they can stand on the low ground down here. Be aware if you are going to walk over here to heal the players over here, a soldier bomb through dungeon can be a threat to you.
Okay.
So I don't know, but I'm still thinking this when I play. But generally speaking, I spend most of the time in the dispenser. But then if I think it's safe, I'll go give heals to my lobby players. So you have one soldier, pyro, engineer here, and your medic in the dispenser or here giving heals. And then you'll put your soldier demo locking down here in dungeon. That's the pyro hold. And you can pull that out whenever you have time to actually set up the hold before they push. The other option for this last is to play a sniper hold, and the variation is the gun is at the front of point. I think it's here. It might actually be on here or back here. I think it's here. Dispenser will then move to this position, and then obviously I assume you guys know how medic and dispensers work. You just sit crouch inside the dispenser as medic.
So
I can
Yeah.
help you.
both variations are for events Uber.
Yeah. Generally, if it's a disad push, you guys aren't gonna have time to set up like a perfect defense, and it's sort of just get a sentry wherever you can and then get a heavy. If you have time to set up a last defense and stuff, stalemate's out. These are like your default stalemate last holds. So you have this is your engineer setup. You'll then have your demo man top left. You'll have double soldier right side, spam in lobby, and then your sniper will play wherever the sniper wants to play. The sniper might be trying to peek right side lobby. One tip you can do is if you put down a teleporter here, your sniper can stand on it and snipe over these boxes. And that's basically it. They're not complicated, but if you guys know what you can get set up into quickly, then it makes your last holds less likely to go messy. Obviously, if it's a full disad push and you're expecting them to push soon, have your soldiers on the doors early. So a soldier here and a soldier there, and then when you spot that they're going to Uber through this door, you jump away, and the other soldier stays healthy. And the whole thing I mentioned earlier is recommit onto point. Obviously, as the engineer, you should be in spawn. This is on disad now, obviously not on evens. You should be on spawn, in spawn, waiting for that gun to die, and then immediately swap to heavy or scout. If your other scouts are already heavy, then no need. But swap to heavy as soon as your gun dies. Get healed by your medic, so you're 450, and then come out of spawn.
There was a
Your other scout.
scenario, I think, yesterday where Hikaru tried to go heavy, but his fast was too slow to get on the point. If he went scout, he could have easily got over there. He just tried to buy a bit of time.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's your soldiers' jobs.
Oh, okay.
Like in the time it takes that gun to die, there should be a soldier which takes his turn to block the point. Whilst this it's not your scout's jobs to contest the point.
Okay.
It will eventually be, obviously, but like the first point of contact is the soldiers bombing the point. If you consistently have issues, yes, absolutely, you can swap to scout. But in the perfect world, you wait and spawn, your gun dies, you run out of spawn on heavy, get 450 from your medic, and play the fight. Your other scout is going to be sniping in a really defensive position like this, for example, and then they'll immediately swap to scout or heavy, and then come and play the fight. And then your soldiers obviously taking in turns to block. So that's how you hold last. Is there any questions on the holds or something you guys don't understand?
Okay, for this time I've been taking down a bunch of points, typing it out on the 6 mentoring and demos this channel. Can you like scroll, glance through them, see if anything's wrong?
Yeah, I can put pictures in the channel for the hold for you guys. I'll sort that. That's fine.
Oh, really?
If you
Thank
want.
you. Actually, wow, that's
I
quite
think
nice.
I think
I mean, I
that's
drew a
how-
diagram in my notebook actually of
Yeah.
the description.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'll pop pictures in for you guys
Oh,
for the two
thanks.
different holds.
I think that should be us who's doing the comment. Us
Yeah, it's okay.
writing down the
I know the
notes.
hold, so I have this statues. I have this config, so you can
Oh,
do stuff like this.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I use this to take pictures usually. Can't remember all the keybinds. I'll have to check the config. You can spawn these statues to show people what the last holds are. So this is what I use.
Just one thing that sometimes it's not easy like doing lasso, especially when like our flank scout doesn't even come. So
I
it's
mean, that's an
usually
internal issue that you
yeah
guys will have to sort out.
yeah
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
obviously
usually
it's
me
not ideal.
usually me who become the NG. So yeah, so the flank scout always be on scout and don't really off class.
Yeah, so this is something you have to talk about to your scout because it depends on how serious you want to take it, right?
Yeah.
Because the easy answer for you guys is, well, that's what you're meant to do, so you need to sort your scout player out. But I appreciate that that's not the most friendliest answer. But
Yeah.
if you guys want to take it seriously, then ask them, hey, do you want to take it seriously? And this is what we want to do. Can you work with us on this, please?
All right. Yeah.
Anyway, so just I quickly show this. So you have soldier, pyro,
Playing with little figurines. Yay.
sentry gun, engineer with the sentry gun. Then you have your medic. I'll put
Barrels.
him here, but yes, roughly I would say this. And then you have demo man, soldier, right side. So this is your pyro hold. So I'll take a picture of this. Oh,
Where's
misleading
dispenser?
dispenser in the middle of fog.
Dispenser.
Okay, let me redo this with a dispenser somewhere sensible, which is up here. Okay, so sentry gun, soldier, pyro, engineer, medic, demo soldier. Okay,
Okay.
this is your last hold. I'll send a picture for you in this
Wait,
channel.
Wrangler is being banned on sixes. Huh?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's banned. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's banned
All
on
right,
sixes.
so
I use the jag. You use the jag to set the gun up.
right.
Technically, if you want to like min max, like maximize the way you play engineer, you build it with jag and then swap the stock because obviously the repair rate. I don't,
Oh, I
and I bet a bunch
see.
of engineers don't. But if you really wanted to, you could have a binder quickly swap to the swap the stock once you built it.
The
I
one
never have.
application of the Summit Hospitality. It's here. It's technically an upgrade.
That's
It's
the
Okay.
also
pyro hold.
worthless.
Pyro hold, and then this will be your soldier here. And then I'll put another soldier up here because this is options, but it's not where he stands, right? Just bear that in mind. But that's something you can move to if you need to. Medic with a dispenser.
How's the medic supposed to reach me from over there? Do they walk
Uh,
over or do they cross? Or
Who now? The demo man.
yeah, I'm demo.
Yeah, the medic can waddle to you, and you can sort of try to help meet him.
Alright.
Have the gun here, and then obviously I'll just pop the engineer down with the gun. Yeah, obviously bear in mind the soldier isn't always there. There's two primary soldiers. I believe that's the gun. Let me cross check this. Oh man.
So let's say the enemy team Uber into us. Uh, don't don't mind whether it's left door or right door. So I just instantly go to our spawn door, inside our spawn, and wait for our gun to be destroyed.
That's if you're disad, yeah.
Okay.
On evens generally they're not going to just uber into you, right? Because that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So you should really just have your gun out, and then when you need to tank your gun with a wrench, like
All right.
just general engineer gameplay.
Yeah. I just realized that I don't. My rescue rangers just disappear. Like I don't know. I can use my rescue ranger.
I
Is
think
it
that's banned as
banned?
well.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
banned.
pretty
Oh,
sure
it's
the
banned.
rescue
It's
end is
banned.
banned.
Okay.
You
So
either use full stock engineer with a jag, or you can use the revenge crits one. I forget what it's called.
Oh yeah.
The Frontier
Frontier
Justice.
Justice.
You can use the Frontier Justice. It's Frontier Justice or Stock, and then Stock Pistol,
see.
and then the Jag to set up the gun faster, because that's the most important, to build a gun as quickly as possible. And like I said, if you really want to, you can then swap to Stock after you built the gun, but I would say I've just always run Jag.
Alright. Switch use
Oh, the one thing obviously missing from this hold, which wasn't in the picture, was you can have
Atelier? Oh,
this is meant to be my key binding to build a teleporter, but the config changed it. This should be this is a sniper, which I think is number 8. Yeah. And sniper can play right side lobby if your flank scout likes to snipe instead. So
is there a specific call for like how are we doing last hole?
Just say we were
yeah,
doing a lot.
you'd call it the pyro hold or the sniper hold if
Okay.
you're like doing. Well, that's what I do anyway. Like, oh, let's do the pyro hold, or let's do the sniper hold. Or if it's
Alright.
disad, then there aren't really any holds, right? You just put your soldiers on the doors, you build a sentry gun wherever you can build it, and then get ready to swap
Alright.
to like heavy and scout.
Yeah, usually I just build my sentry near the spawn door so I can go back and forth for my lockers and sentry.
Okay. So I have some time for any quick questions. I gotta disappear for
And
the meeting soon.
when is the right time for us to push to last from defense perspective?
Or to try and get out of last.
Yes.
So depending on the map and how difficult it is to get out of that map's last, there's different criteria. A lot of player picks. Some maps you can just take a massive Uber ad. Some maps you want to have like 2 or 3 picks. If you are going to push out, there's a few ways to do it. A lot of teams will have a demo man trap lobby, so like you'd shutter and top, and then take like a scout soldier Uber out of lower, or just try and, or don't do that. Take your demo man out of lower and just have soldiers watching the shutter and belt, and then try to get your combo out. You have to bear in mind you're watching dungeon as well. There's a lot of ways to get backcapped on this map, but generally there has to be like some significant advantage. One player pick is not enough to leave Sunshine last. It might be a chance for you to counter sack if you want. But like, it's a lot of the time in higher level you'll play for the round reset on Sunshine. But getting out, you need, I'd say, at least 2 player picks or like a full Uber ad to try and get out of this last. And like I said, you guys as a team should know who watches what when you leave last. So your default push out of last might be to take your scouts and a soldier out of bottom left, and then have your demo man trap here and watch Belk, and then have your remaining player watch the dungeon push, right? And then obviously what the players that do then get out need to do is tell the other players what they see. If you see all 4 players forward, they can all just come out and help you get on this cap straight away. Whereas if one of the soldiers might have to hang back because there's a possibility they're on spy, then you're down a player. But what I would say is just know who watches what when you push last. And there's options. Some teams do like demo man controls this, and then you take soldier scouts out of here, and then either a scout or a soldier watches dungeon. Generally think a soldier's better because you can splash and hold the chokes, whereas a scout might just lose 1v1 and it loses you the round. There's options, there's different ways to push out, but I'd say on Sunshine at least 2 player ad or full Uber if you want to try and get out of Sunshine last. Otherwise, just play for the round reset.
I see.
Any other quick questions? I'm about to go hop on this call.
I don't have any for now. But thank
I
you very
typed
much.
out a big list of points in the channel.
Oh yeah, thank you, Hiro, for that as well. That was very good.
Are
Thank
any
you.
of them like wrong?
I'll
Or could be improved?
I'll take a look at them and I'll make any amendments if I think you've got something a little bit wrong.
All right.
Otherwise, I've now got to disappear to get on this works call, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
I'll leave you guys.
Yeah. See you, man. Thank you very
for
much
your
again.
time.
Thank you,
Yeah.
No
Birchy.
problem, no problem. If you have any questions, just ping me on the Discord.
No
I
worries.
will.
Will do.
Okay. Good luck, guys. Bye bye.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye.
It
Okay.
was
Damn. Look, see that guy? That guy's excellent. I love him. Well,